But yeah, how's Vietnam, Joe?
Yeah, so as I was saying, it's hot as hell in Japan right now. I mean, we've talked about, summer here. We've done entire episodes where we talk about how crushing the Japanese summer is. I didn't know, there was a Dark Souls level of hotness until I went to Vietnam in the middle of June and July.
Welcome to Southeast Asia.
I wasn't sweating. I was perspiring. It was
perspiring.
I was
is that a word?
Perspirating. It was raining.
Perspiring.
It was raining from my face. It was disgusting.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I made my own cloud system just because of just how fucking sweaty it was.
You should take a Nick Cotto avocado. He's got a little water weight.
Dude, it was weird. I ate. Okay, so obviously I'm on vacation, right? My whole family's on vacation. So when you're on vacation mode, you don't care about what you eat. Right?
Yeah.
Right? So you just go ham on all the food, right? Because I wanted to have it was my first time in Vietnam. I wanted to get all of the authentic Vietnamese food, right?
Yeah.
Some of it's healthy, of course, and some of it isn't. Well, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just get everything. And somehow, even though I haven't gorged myself that much in, I'd say at least the past 3 or 4 months, I somehow still lost weight.
You're probably walking around a lot,
because
right?
of, well, I mean, we went on some hikes, but also I think just during the day, I'm sweating 10 liters. So, legit, Nikocado, if you want to lose some weight, bro.
This is not good actual advice, by the way. I just want to preface, this is shit advice.
You want to lose that water weight, bro? You'll lose it immediately in Vietnam.
Even when we were in America, I noticed that I was walking more on average in America than I was when I'm here in Japan. And
really?
that doesn't make any fucking sense.
How?
How? Well, because we were doing a lot of
houses are bigger.
Well, yeah, sorry. Roderick's house was huge.
Yeah.
Well, because everything I was doing involved me standing up and walking around, even if it's just a little bit. I was just doing a lot more walking. In Japan, when I'm streaming, I'll sit there and I'll look and I'll be like, wow.
Oh, there's your problem.
1,500 steps the whole day, huh?
This is what happens when you touch grass. It's like if you just sit in all day.
That's what happens when you don't stream.
Yeah.
We were just doing stuff. I was doing stuff every single day. So I was always walking every day. Even if I was Ubering there, I was then had to walk. Because in America, it's actually, you still have to walk a lot. Because you're like, oh, the parking lot is fucking 900 meters long. And you're like, oh shit, okay, well that's 500 steps right there. It's like they sneak it in. You don't realize it. Everything actually is fucking spread out so goddamn much.
I think the conclusion from this is that you need to be walking more while you're in Japan.
No, because I think the conclusion you can take from this is that Connor walks more in America, but he is a very small percentage of people. The people that stream all day. That work from home and stream all day and do not go outside. If you go to America, then you end up walking more. Unless you're in America and you stream all day as well. So
I'm actively trying to not go outside right now. And if I do, it's the taxi is the buffer. I'm getting in there and I'm going because I don't want to be outside. It sucks.
Oh, you would have hated it in Vietnam. Bro.
Yeah, I would have.
I think the hottest day we had was when I was in Saigon and it was 46 degrees.
Fuck that.
And that's not including the humidity.
I'm going to Thailand in winter.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh my God, the humidity was it was I never felt like my life was in danger from heat until I went to Vietnam. Just stepping outside, not even in the sun, in the shade, right? Because the humidity here is bad. But somehow Vietnam was just we can get hotter when it comes to humidity. So there was literally no difference between standing in the sun and standing in the shade. You just felt like there was a heater attached to your face at all times. And it was disgusting. Oh my God.
I'm surprised because normally, for Thailand at least, July period is actually one of the cooler periods because it's rainy.
Really?
It's rainy season in Thailand.
Yeah.
The hottest seasons are kind of actually maybe I'm think of May, but there is a definite hot period. But the best period to go to Southeast Asia is kind of around February period.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when we went to Thailand in January, it was great.
That was perfect.
That was perfect.
It was actually nice. You could breathe and exist and go outside.
Yeah, exactly.
It's great. But California was great weather too, though.
Yeah, California. We didn't have a heat wave this time. There was no kind of
It's hot, but then you go in shade and you're like, oh.
Yeah,
it's not too bad.
It's bearable. Yeah, it's bearable.
Sure.
But the important question is, did you rent a moped?
See, I really wanted to because I'd heard about Gaunt's stories of riding in a moped and almost dying, and I was like, I want that near-death experience, and I tried, but because I was with my family, I asked my mom, and she was like, well, it's my birthday, and I don't want you to die on my birthday.
See, you did the wrong thing. You should have asked for forgiveness, not permission. You should have.
No, you don't know my mom, bro. I can't ask for forgiveness.
There ain't no
She's
forgiving.
an Asian mom. She never forgets.
You have the Asian mum debuff that's going on a family
that
holiday.
I can't ask for forgiveness. That's not a thing that happens. I was really down. My dad was like kind of down. My sister and my mom were just like, no, I don't want to die. So unfortunately, I couldn't. But hopefully next time I go back,
boys trip.
If we go back to Vietnam,
I'm
and
not
my
going
mom
there in the summer. That's what I'm hearing. I'm fuck no.
Oh my god, dude, you would have been like every time I walked past like foreigners who were in Vietnam, because there was like a surprising amount of foreigners during that time of year. I thought for sure everyone was going to try and avoid the summer heat, but there was a lot of people there.
Wasn't there like, don't they get shit tons of tourists because it's super cheap?
Well, yeah, that too, but it's cheap all year round, right? Yeah. So you'd think you'd try and aim for like January, February time.
People normally like to take summer holidays.
Like Europe, it's like a culture of going on holiday in the summer. It's like summer's the time.
Oh my god, yeah! But every time I saw a European tourist, and they looked like they wanted to kill themselves. Like they were just like, it never gets hot here. It never gets hot at home like this.
I can't imagine them surviving Southeast Asian summers like that.
Oh my god, they were not surviving.
Yeah,
it was bad. But other than the heat, everything else was fucking amazing. I went to what is considered to be the best banh mi restaurant, or I guess place in all of Vietnam. It's this place in Hoi An that Anthony...
Banh mi is just like they're like the sandwiches.
Like the sandwiches, the Vietnamese sandwiches. But apparently this one is the highest rated or the best in all of Vietnam because Anthony Bourdain went to it. And
yes, I need a white man to tell me what the best banh mi is.
no, but it was so
finally
weird.
A white man's opinion.
But it was so weird because I found that really weird because I was like, when we were at the hotel in Hoi An, and I was like, oh, we really want to get some like good Vietnamese food. Where do you recommend? This full Vietnamese like guy at the front desk was just like, have you ever heard of Anthony Bourdain? he recommended this place in Hoi An.
I wonder if they were like, hey, my cousin says this one's the best. They'd be like, I don't know, who's that? You got a white guy?
I was expecting like a super local place, right? But it's just like, no, go to this place that the white man said was good.
I don't know, man. I've seen how Gordon Ramsay cooks a pad thai, man. It's I've seen that video and I'm like, okay, highly respected chef, cooks Southeast Asian cuisine, and even like there's a video where Gordon Ramsay goes to this like Thai restaurant and cooks the pad thai, and the chef's just, and I remember the first time watching it, I've never had such an Uncle Rogers kind of like reaction to someone cooking my country's cuisine. I'm like, this is not pad thai, and thank God the Thai chef, who was very politely said, this is not how we make pad thai.
He seemed pretty offended. I don't know. I was just polite. He seemed pissed.
He tried to politely word it, and to be fair to Gordon Ramsay, he did very much take his advice on how to cook a pad thai. But if Anthony Bourdain says this is the best banh mi restaurant in Vietnam, I'm gonna call sus on that.
Yeah, it was also really weird because I saw the clip of like the actual episode where he actually went there, just to double check this was the right place.
Yeah.
Apparently I didn't have to, because the moment I got to this place, in front of it, there's this huge like A3 fucking poster of Anthony Bourdain just like deep throating a banh mi, and right next to it in this like cursive text, it was a quote from Anthony Bourdain, and it it said, "The best baguette I've ever had." And I thought, has Anthony Bourdain never been to France? Has he never been to Europe? Because I'm not too sure about that.
It was a mistranslation. They were like, I think he said baguette actually. And they're like, I never a banh mi store. You think he meant to say? No, he said baguette.
No. Maybe banh mi in Vietnamese equals baguette. I don't know, but I was like, okay, you know what? Look, I'll take the benefit of that. I'll go in. To be fair, it was the best banh mi I've ever had.
Yeah,
and we went to a couple of places in Vietnam as well, and obviously outside of Vietnam. And I would say, you know what? He wasn't fully capping, but I'm sure some Vietnamese people are going to be like, no, that one's overrated. Go to this one.
There's definitely got to be some cap.
Of course.
It's just like sometimes people come to Japan and then like they've been here like 4 or 5 times. They'll be like, dude, I know like the best spot to eat. And I'm like, okay, tell me. And then they'll just send me something, and it'll be like a really well-known restaurant.
It'll
be like something that everyone knows about that is just pretty okay. And it's like, this is not a find.
Yeah.
This is you went on Google and typed in sushi restaurant. It's the first one that comes up.
Have you ever heard of Ichiran?
Yeah. Well,
take you.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, every ramen pic I see on Twitter is Ichiran, which is fine. You can go to Ichiran. I mean, I like Ichiran. It's good, but it's like the McDonald's of Ichiran, right?
Yeah,
but it's great.
It's better.
I like it. It tastes good. We've said this like a million times, but yeah, I'm very skeptical when somebody who visits a place is like, this is the best place here. It's like, you don't know shit.
Yeah, but my favorite one though, and that was the other thing I loved about Vietnam is, and obviously this gets memes a lot in like Western countries that have Vietnamese restaurants. It's just like some of them just have the best fucking names for restaurants. I went to this restaurant in Sapa when we did this like 3-day hike in the mountains. Beautiful place, definitely go. But there was just this restaurant right next to our hotel, just called Yummy Restaurant.
Was it
Yummy Restaurant?
And I kid you not, it was yummy.
I mean, I see no problem here.
Yeah.
I was like,
wow,
all right. I mean, you weren't lying. This was a yummy restaurant. It was just very weird, though, when you look up on Google, the first thing that comes up is yummy restaurant.
Well, I feel like, I've seen this quite a lot in Thailand, at least, where sometimes if you just want to make your restaurant stand out, if you open a Thai restaurant here in, a foreign country, you want a Thai name to it. But over there, if you just put like a fucking English name, that's what makes it stand out, We don't want the traditional Thai name. We want like the foreign name, the wacky foreign name.
Yeah, of course.
So, it doesn't surprise me that Yummy Restaurant is a name of a restaurant.
I mean, it got my attention.
It's so fucking stupid. I had this thought. Because when we were in Thailand, I remember seeing all those weird statues. Like they would have like 1-to-1 size statues of like Thor.
Yeah.
And I was like, why don't you just have like a normal ass restaurant, but in front of it, it's just dudes like Captain America being rammed by like Tony Stark or something. Like a 1-to-1 statue. So every fucking Google pic of the restaurant is just a statue of like a copyrighted Disney character just being raw dogged. And so then that way, everyone will want to post about your place. And people are going to go there. And all I have to do is commission a statue of like, maybe like, I don't know.
What, just like the most cursed shit imaginable?
It's like Mario like on his knees in front of Luigi. And he's like, I'm doing his pants and it's 1-to-1 scale. And like, that's the picture that everyone
sees. Like Kermit
sees.
Like making out with Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, or like Mario and Sonic. Mario and Sonic making out, 1-to-1 statue. And like, you can't avoid it because people are going to see it and post about it.
Sure.
And you can do it in these places because nobody's clapping down on these copywriters.
Yeah.
So we should just make a restaurant.
Something similar happened when I was in Hoi An. There was this fucking bar that was like themed around Mr. Bean.
Oh, was he making out with someone?
No.
They didn't steal my idea there.
No, I wish.
That's too legit.
Yeah. But it was like the entire bar, like all the drinks, all the food was themed around Mr. Bean. And I'm like, I don't think this got the all clear from Rowan Atkinson.
That's not enough. Right?
Yeah.
You need something like absolutely out there, but that also won't get it shut down. Because I assume there's got to be a limit, right?
Yeah.
But what if...
I mean, you still want people to come to your restaurant. You don't want to be having like a nice little meal and then you just look and then it's just Mario and Sonic making out and you're just like...
I don't know, man.
I don't know if this is helping my
I would go to that.
So it's like Mario and Sonic making out in front, and then you get in, and then on the roof, it's like 2 Spider-Mans in that one Spider-Man meme where he's like slapping his ass in the bed, but on the roof. And the whole restaurant is just absolutely fucked copyrighted characters just going at it. And that way, everyone wants to come in and see what's going on. And they sit down, and I charge, I rip off all the tourists as well. I think this is a great idea.
Yeah, another thing as well that I noticed about Vietnam is that, the concept of happy hour, right?
Yeah.
At like a bar or a restaurant, right? Like normally, what would you say is like the average time of an happy hour?
They scam you. It's like 3 p.m. on a Monday.
Yeah.
Right. But 3 p.m. like usually, right, when you go to like any Western country, happy hour is usually, I don't know, between maybe like 4 and 7, maybe 5 and 7. It's a couple.
It's never a happy hour.
It's never 7. 7's too not generous. People are gonna start drinking.
It stops at like 6.
Yeah.
At the latest.
I saw a restaurant in Saigon, dead ass, right in front of the store, big sign, happy hour, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. And I'm like, when is it not happy hour?
Maybe that's just
at that point,
every hour is happy hour,
at
baby.
that point, just say we have free drinks. Like, just come
I think they're just happy.
I'm like, how happy are you?
We are happy during these hours because there's not a lot of work.
Because we're open.
They misunderstood the concept of happy hour.
They clearly didn't know what happy hour was. They just thought like happy hour means we're open, right?
Yeah, it's actually stressful for us after this time. So please actually be more considerate after this.
But I went in and sure enough, the guy guy was like, "Yeah, buy 2 get 1 free."
That's fucking
and we were there at like 12, and I was like, "How are you surviving as a business?"
Damn.
Well, I mean, if people are coming there at like 9 a.m., you must be doing something right.
Yeah, if it's a bar opening at 9 a.m., they're killing it.
Yeah.
True.
What was your favorite place in Vietnam then?
Oh, geez, that's hard. I'd probably have to say Sapa. It's like right on the northern border of Vietnam.
Right.
Yeah.
It's called the city in the clouds because it's like the elevation of this entire village is like 1,000 meters up.
Oh, sick.
And it's like there's just these like clouds rolling over the hills. It looks like a fucking Princess Mononoke scene. It looks so sick. And we went on this like 2-day hike down into the valley to like go to all of the indigenous Vietnamese villages, and like kind of went around there. That was like fucking amazing. Like that, if you like hiking, like for sure go there.
I hate hiking though. And hiking in Southeast...
the fucking jungle?
You like a jungle? Hiking in Southeast Asia?
We were like dead ass in the jungle.
I've done that once, and I think I almost got a heat stroke. Because I'm like, how do I cool off? I can't splash water on myself because that's like the atmosphere is already doing that. So I'm like...
That actually sounds like my hell.
Really?
Yeah. Hiking in the jungle? Yeah, that sounds like my worst
I
place
thought
to
I
go.
would hate it as well, but then on the second day, it was like raining quite a bit, and I was just like, oh, thank God.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love the rain in Southeast Asia because you're like, you can literally feel like the climate like going down a few degrees.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God.
But the problem was it was a double-edged sword because it was like, I was cooling down from the rain, but this entire hike we were in the jungle is like mud. So I'm basically like ankle or like almost like, ankle deep in mud. I wore my Vessies and, those survived. So I definitely gave them like the best fucking promo they've ever had. Because I came out of this hike, like my fucking shoes were muddy as shit. Still good. Not a single drop on my socks.
Literally sounds like my nightmare. Fuck this.
No, it was fantastic though. Like it was definitely a hard hike, but like just getting to see this like insane looking like views. It just didn't look real, but it was, fucking amazing. Maybe I don't recommend for people who don't like hiking. I love hiking, so I enjoy the shit out of it. But
I realized, especially when I went on the ski trip, I was like, oh, so skiing's kind of like you get all the advantages of hiking, except without actually hiking. This is great.
Why people love it?
Yeah, I was like, why people are onto something, man? You know,
they figure that shit out.
You can chill, you can drink, you can
They min-maxed hiking.
Yeah, you have the fun part, which is just going down, and then you can drink in between, get great views, and then they just built a device just to cut the hiking out. What?
Damn! If only it wasn't so expensive for a lot of people.
Exactly right. Oh, this is it.
Yeah, hiking is great if it's pay to win. You know,
if it's pay to win.
Like to me, it's like hiking is not a vacation. So hearing that this is a vacation, I'd be like, no. In my head, I'm like, this is like an activity, and I wouldn't want to do it as I don't know. My brain's weird like that.
I don't know. I think for me, like hiking can definitely be like a roller, because it wasn't like we were like speed running this hike or anything, and it wasn't like that long of a hike either. I think we did maybe like 10, 15 kilometers.
Yeah.
Which is like nothing really. Like you can get that done in like half a day. But I think like for me it was just cool because you would never be able to see these like traditional villages or like know anything about it. Like our guide that took us was one of the members of this like indigenous Vietnamese village, and she just like knew all the fucking shortcuts and shit, and it was just so cool to just be able to see firsthand these like insane environments that just like look straight out of a video game. So like, it was tiring, but
is that what you like about hiking? The views?
Yeah, I think like just if you're hiking, I would say like hiking in just like a forest that you can't see the views from, or like, if you don't hike to like say the top of a mountain or whatever, then it's like, okay, yeah, this is fine or whatever. But I think what I really enjoy about hiking is just like when you pull out of the really dense foresty areas into an open area and you get to see like where you got to and the all the views and shit. Like that's really gratifying for me. It's just like, oh, I fucking did it. Like I got to this place and see this thing that I can only see if only I had like gone through this like trek, right?
Yeah.
Because like all these places were completely inaccessible by anything other than foot.
Right.
So just to be able to say that like, I got to those places and got to see it for myself is like, I don't know. I find that really cool and gratifying.
Yeah.
I think that's why I really like, just like climbing mountains and stuff as well. Or like going on long walks and shit.
Yeah, that's the part I also like. That's the only part I like, which is the views. I don't like, but to say like, enjoy getting from point A to point B. In fact, I fucking despise it most of the time, you know? I'm not calling out hikers. I get the feeling of like, holy shit, this is a massive view. But I am that motherfucker who's going to complain from like the bottom to the top.
That's the British in you, dog.
I'm like, I mean, I get the views, but I'm not going to say I enjoy the experience of hiking, you know?
I don't know. I like, especially when it's like a muddy trail or like, you know, an off-road trail.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed like the challenge aspect of it. Just to be like, oh, cool, I fucking got through that and, you know, I didn't die. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But
that's how I feel when I survive LA. I'm like, I didn't die. Damn, nice.
I made it to the next block without dying.
Yeah. Also, I don't know. I guess like another thing is that you said muddy stuff. I don't know. I think I've kind of realized I fucking hate muddy things or mud or getting dirty. I don't know. It's a weird thing.
Fucking city boy.
Well, I like actually for me, I like a very good distinction. Like I am happy to get muddy and dirty when I am planning to do that.
Yeah.
But I don't like it when I go to a place and it's like just fucking dirty and there's shit everywhere and like a hoarder's house. It's like that kind of dirt or kind of stuff like that. I'm like, that is in my worst.
Like
things
you don't like when something is dirty in an environment that you're not expecting to be.
Yeah. But if you're telling me, hey Connor, you got to go and fucking hike in the mud for 3 days and be gross, I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah. I think I only like, I'm the same thing. Like I'm not gonna fucking be walking down the street in Tokyo and like be happy if someone throws mud at me. Like I'm not
It's like I don't associate like being muddy is the same part of my brain that like that thinks like stuff's dirty. Right, it's like different. Like mud and all that kind of stuff, and getting dirty in that sense is very different in my head to how I view like traditional,
like natural dirty.
Like messy stuff, or kind of like you go to a place like I don't know. Sometimes you go to a place and you're just like, man, I can't shit comfortably in this toilet. It's not clean. Like, stuff like that.
I think that's the big reason why I just never went camping a lot in the UK, because I always associated it with, you know, now that I've been camping in other places, I'm like, oh, camping's so much fun. But in the UK, it's just like you go out and it's just like the floor is just muddy and you just like, especially if it's been raining, and then you just got to trek out and you just never like, I'm just never comfortable, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I get that. That sounds, I mean, I love camping, but if you told me to go camping in the UK, I'd probably be like, nah, dog, I'm good.
Cold. It's cold.
Yeah.
Nah, fuck that.
Yeah, if I'm going to go hiking, normally I like a trail. I've never done like off-trail hiking or anything like that, so maybe that might be fun, because I'm the same way. If I have time to like mentally prepare to be like, oh, you're gonna get like down and dirty and you're just gonna, you know, fuck yourself up, then I'm like, okay, at least I have like preparation for that. But if I just want to chill, I'm just like, I'm in like chill mode. Do not disturb chill mode right now.
I mean, you know, we definitely had days in Vietnam where we would just, you know, fucking hang out in the city and just, you know, maybe go have a bite to eat and just no physical activities whatsoever. But I think what was really fun about this trip is that there was kind of like a mixture of everything. Like there were some days where we were just like full on all day activity, and then there were some days where I was just fucking sleeping, you know, like, and not doing anything, going to the pool, having a drink at the, you know, at the bar or whatever. I think it was like nice combination.
Sounds like my kind of vacation.
Yeah, that's the vacation I want. No physical activity. That's a